Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. In today's Let's Talk video, we're going to be discussing Necron vehicles. We're going to be ranking them in order of ranking, obviously. And today we've got Demon Prince Parry on the channel as our special guest.
How's it going, guys?
You're good? You're set with this?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, Demon Prince Parry isn't a Necrons player, so he's not going to have as much information as I do, but he's going to give it a go. He has played Necrons quite a lot though, ain't you? So
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have some opinions and...
So you should know what's what. Anyway, let's move this junk out of the way. Let's start us off with Triarch Stalker.
Yep.
So what we're going to be doing is going to put them down, and then throughout the video we're going to be moving them around in order of what we think is the best. Let's go. What we got the points wise for the Triarch Stalker, I'm just trying to find them. I think 125 points.
Okay.
And
it's T8.
Toughness 8, moves 8, wounds 12, 4+ invulnerable save.
That's nice.
And
nice.
It's got options of weapons, heat ray, particle shredder, heavy gorse cannon.
What is the heat ray give buff?
No, that's just his ability. The ability targeting relay gives takes away the benefits of cover. The heat ray though is two different profiles. You can use the torrent or you can use the effectively a melter.
Yeah.
It's got melter 4, which is kind of cool. D6+4, not bad. So yeah, that is kind of what he's about. You can swap that heat ray out for the particle shredder, which has devastating wounds and blast. It's strength 7. No AP on it though.
Quite resilient.
Yeah, that's the main thing about this guy. I mean, resiliency is key. Toughness 8, 3+4+12 wounds.
12 wounds and easy to shift through, especially at TA.
It's not, and obviously he's working well with the one of the detachments, the Obelisks Phalanx, because it's got the Triarch keyword.
You'll have to brush me up on that.
Yeah, so in that detachment, Triarch units, Lich Guard units, and Overlord units get a +1 to wound against a selected target in a battle round.
Okay. Yeah, that's handy. Yeah, that is handy.
It's handy.
Especially when some of his stuff is strength 9. There you go, +1 to wound on the strength 9.
Yeah, the heat ray strength 9.
Yeah, that's quite good actually.
It's a nice little get it onto an objective, and like your soul grinder for demons. It's like get there, do stuff.
And
it doesn't.
Resilient.
The problem with him though, doesn't fight very well. I know you're looking at that damage 3, but then you look at the attacks. There's just 4 at strength 7 and -1. It's not great. When you compare that to a soul grinder, not great at all, is it?
No. Why would that matter as a vehicle?
OC wise, like if you get
OC 4.
If you get charged by a little unit or 5 intercessors, maybe not 5 intercessors, something a bit bigger, a bit more.
Terminators?
Terminators will probably do him, to be honest. They have the OC over him.
Yeah.
He's only got OC 4. He's probably going to kill 1. They're going to throw a lot of wounds on him, and he's lost the objective.
Yeah,
that's where he has.
Where he fails.
A bit of a problem. So we'll stick him down. Current number 1, obviously, because there's no one else there. Right, next we've got the Obelisk.
I like that.
Big tanky vehicle, Titanic. I'll let you go with this one.
Yeah, okay. So toughness 13, which is
beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
24 wounds.
2+ armor.
Yeah, that's standard, isn't it, for stuff like that?
I mean, there's no invuln. I don't think you need an invuln with 2+.
Max thing's only -4 AP anyway.
I mean, even a -3 still gives you a 5+. So
yeah, 8 OC.
Great.
You've got some decent-ish weapons. Tesla Sphere, you get 4?
You get 4, so that's 24 shots.
Sustained hits 2, so there's an averaging, and hitting on 3, so 24.
You basically get 24 hits on average, because you get your hits back.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Strength 7, which is, I think that's okay.
It's okay, but the best part is the anti-fly 4+, isn't it?
Yeah, so you'd be targeting things
Firsters.
fly, firsters, yeah. So
24 hits on average, and then if you're going up against a Bloodthirster, that's 12 wounds on average. You get your saves, obviously, but that's still not bad.
12 wounds, no AP, 1 damage.
It's not bad.
That's not terrible at all. I mean,
you are paying.
It's 325 points.
325 is it? Yeah.
But
it's got a cool ability though.
Gravitic Pulse.
Yeah.
At the start of your opponent's movement phase, you can select one enemy unit within 18 inches of this and visible to the model, which should be everything anyway.
Titanic.
Yeah.
It's big
until the end of the turn, halve the move characteristic models in that unit, halve advance and charge rolls. In addition, if that unit can fly, which is what you should be targeting,
this is cool.
Until the end of the next movement phase, roll 1d6 each time that unit ends any type of move on a 4-up D3 model.
So do you know what that means? Any type of move. I've had a few debates about this one. Any type of move. It doesn't say movement phase or move.
No,
it's any type of move. You've got move, advance, charge move,
Piling.
piling move, consolidation move. These are movement types.
Yeah.
So if people are doing all that, and every time you're rolling, it does start to stack up.
Yeah.
I think people are missing a trick. I'm not saying it's the best thing in the Necrons Codex by a long way.
No.
But there is something there.
I
just haven't quite ciphered it out yet.
I do like it.
You like it, yeah?
I do like it.
Is it better than a Stalker though? That's what we're doing today. We're ranking them, we're putting them on the ranking system. Is it better than a Triarch Stalker for you?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah. I like it. I do. I suppose you could have 2 of them if there's a cost. How much does that cost? 125?
Get a 3 then. But you look in terms of your list building step, you're going to get maybe a Catan or 2. You're going to get some Immortals, Wraiths, Leaders, Characters. Maybe it's some Scoring Units, Tomb Blades, Death Marks, Ophidians. Where do you find space for 325 points?
This is where differences of play style and stuff comes into
I know,
play, because I'm used to finding space for 300-point models.
But your 325-point models are good. Bloodthirster,
Oh, yeah.
Starbrands, Shalaxi, Hellbane, whatever. They're good.
Yeah. No,
This
I get
thing
it.
ain't good. It can't fight in melee. It can shoot in melee, obviously, but it's not doing much. I mean, it's got deep strike.
You not just sit it on the home objective?
You can, but you can also stick anything on a home objective, really. We've got a lot of heavy hitters in our codex. Locust heavies, Doomsday Arks. You don't want to move them.
I don't know. I'm just thinking, right?
It would cover the objective.
Yeah. So it's going to cover the objective. So that means it has to be killed for you to lose the objective.
Primary.
Depending on the mission on the primary, that could potentially score you points all game.
Yeah.
All game.
Yeah.
And flying stuff is quick, and normally are going to be coming.
There's better options in this pile, and that's when you'll realise this is not as good as you think.
Yeah,
I understand. I actually do like it, but there's just way better options. So
okay, that's fair.
If we move on, we'll sort of
I'm going to
see.
try and fight for this.
I'm going to put that a bit further back because that's a bit of a funny one. Right, Canoptek Reanimator, something different. This is your small little. How much are these down? 75 points nowadays. Feel no pain over 4+.
Yeah.
It's a walker. It doesn't really do much in terms of its shooting and its range attacks.
It's not what it's for, though, is
It's not for that at all. T6, 3+ armor, 6 wounds. As said, the 4+ feel no pain save. The reanimation beam aura is only 3 inches now. It used to be 12. Remember when it was 12 in the start of the edition?
And you could ding.
It was mayhem. And you basically get to add D3 to your reanimation protocols.
Okay, so it's an extra dice.
It's an extra dice. Now, this in the index, this and Warriors was unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable.
I remember.
Because Warriors used to have the D3 plus 3. Now it's just a reroll. They don't have that anymore. And all they used to have D6 if they weren't on objective.
Yeah.
You said the command protocol of Undying Legions, so you get to do some shenanigans there. The Ghost Ark, Res Orbs, Reanimator, unbreakable. Now their rules are a bit different.
Mm.
This is only 3 inch. The Warriors are a bit weaker. Res Orbs are a bit different. I'm not saying it's bad, but it isn't where it was. It was literally like S tier. It was bang up there. And now it's fallen.
I don't see the point.
I'll tell you what the point is. This follows behind a Nightbringer, or a Void Dragon, or a Monolith.
Yeah.
And then there's a point. Because now you're getting double reanimation on a Nightbringer, which you come up against my Nightbringer to shift wounds off of that thing with the feel no pains and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
And you're not going to be targeting this because you've got a Nightbringer coming at you.
And even if you do, feel no pain, 4+. I don't think it's terrible. Do I use it though?
Not since your new Codex.
Exactly. So that's... I'm just not feeling the 3 inches of...
No, that should be 6.
It should be 6 would be a fair amount.
That should be 6. I think that should be 6, and I hate Necrons, and I hate how you reanimate. But that should be
it's
that
great
should be
that
6.
It's an aura this edition. Before in the old edition, it was like select one, and then the opponent would just go, "Well, I'm not selecting them. I'll shoot at them." It's great. It's an aura.
Well, it's weird because since the what do you call it? Not the FAQ data slate.
Mm-hmm.
They said abilities can stack unless it's an aura.
Yeah.
Now imagine if it wasn't an aura and it was just within 3 inches.
And then you'd just be like your Rendmaster, just be
but then like I said, you bring 3 of them and you have them follow the Nightbringer or whatever, and it's.
I'll give you another scenario.
It's a shame.
You've
It's
got a triangle of Doomstalkers or a triangle of Doomsday Arks not moving, and that's in the middle of them. So you can't even charge it because they've cornered it all off, triangulated it off.
Yeah.
Can't melee it, can't charge it.
You have to shoot it.
And it's giving them D3, each one.
D3.
So it's got uses. Where are you putting it? Are you putting it above your Obelisk, your beloved Obelisk?
Considering how cheap that is, 2 of them in the back, just
150 points. They don't stack, obviously.
No. But do you know what I mean? You could, you like positioning your Locust heavy destroyers in certain corners to get your shooting lanes. Shooting lanes. Just hide that near them. Because you don't want them to move because they're heavy. And then when you eventually get a destroyer gone, you bring it back.
75 points. If you pay 25 points more, you can have 2 more Locust heavy destroyers. That's my argument.
Yeah, I suppose.
So even if they die, that's 8 wounds right there. Do you know what I mean? Is he going to be bringing back 8 wounds? Maybe.
Well, if he brings...
But I'd rather be shooting from turn 1 with my other unit of 2.
But he's potentially bringing back a model for you.
No, he is, but throughout the game...
Which is what, a 50-point model?
Yeah, but
2 times he's made his points. Yeah.
And if your unit is full, you're not bringing more. It's
No, yeah, I get it.
So maybe I'm not even getting targeted. Turn 1, turn 2, Reanimator's doing nothing.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Whereas
He's not even getting reality.
I'd rather have 2 more models of Locust heavy destroyers that are shooting turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 until death, and they've still got reanimation.
Anyway,
protocols, their own D3, which is better. That's the argument in itself.
Okay.
That right there actually solves it.
Yeah, I think
But I think it's better than Obelisk. What you put in there? do you really think it's below that? Just out of curiosity.
No, I think there's utility for the Reanimator.
Yeah.
A lot of utility.
What about the
Anti-deep strike.
I think these aren't much far apart, but let's move on.
There's more you can do with that.
There is. I'll let you take the next one. It's another biggie.
Oh, you're just giving me the big ones. Monolith. I rate these. I love these. I do. I think they're better than the Obelisk. I'm trying to fight for this.
By miles.
But toughness 13 again, 22 wounds, 8 OC.
2 less wounds than the Obelisk.
Yes. 2 up save again.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously you've got banging death rays. 4 of them, is it?
4 death rays that are
sustained.
12.
Sustained D3 hits. It's just you've got mad shooting. What's he? 350?
He's 350. So 25 points more, but you get shenanigans.
Yes.
Eternity Gate shenanigans.
Yeah.
Hypercrypt Legion shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, the Hypercrypt Legion's built around this thing.
Yeah.
Technically,
in a way. I mean, you don't need it, but it's great to have it. The Eternity Gate, you could be just taking an infantry unit off the side of anywhere. Just go bonk, bonk.
Cheers.
There you go. I'm going to move it. You've got
very, very powerful.
No inmon save here, like the Obelisk. However, there is a stratagem in that detachment to give it a 4+.
4 up inmon.
4+ inmon, yeah.
I think in the Hypercrypt Legion, this thing.
You would use it in Hypercrypt.
It's
because there's other stratagems, dimensional corridor, bringing them from reserve.
So I know it's expensive, right? But it's like a chef's kiss to that detachment. It's built around it.
All right,
chef's kiss.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
Creme de la creme.
It's good, and that's
really
not even the only weapon the death rays.
No.
You don't get the Gorse Flux Arcs because that's the option, but you get the Particle Whip. You look at the Particle Whip, 3d6 shots at strength 8.
Dev wounds.
And then look at the Portal of Exile. That's no mess about either.
That's much better than the...
You're hitting on 2s at strength 8 with damage 3.
-2, 3 damage, yeah.
So if you even get charged,
yeah.
It's eating them. OC is still 8. It's Titanic, Towering, all that stuff.
Sit at the back, man. Do whatever you can do whatever with that.
You would want this to go... I always struggle to get it further afield, to be honest, because of it's quite large. And you'd probably have to use the Cosmic Precision Stratagem, the 3-inch stratagem.
To be fair to you, though, you need to trial this out in the Hypercrypt. You need to get that. 3 of them.
After reading
let's get 3
I've got
of them.
2 now. So
get them going and just see how powerful they really are. But for me, it's above all of them. It's above all of them.
It's above. It's number 1 at the moment.
I think it's leagues above them.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Speaking of, well, no, actually we're not. We're going the opposite way. Night Scythe. Night Scythe is our Necron transport flyer. And points wise, 145.
Okay. What can it have in it?
It can have. It's been so long since I've used the knight, so I'm going to double check. So you can get a Necron's infantry, which in itself is a negative point because if you're like talking about a land raider, you can have multiple units in a land raider as long as they fit because there's a capacity.
Yeah.
This has a capacity of just one unit, not 20 infantry models. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think that'd be busted. How many squads of destroyers could you get in there?
But you get one infantry unit, so that would be like a characters with the bodyguard unit. That's one unit. Maybe it's Lich Guard. Maybe it's a shooter unit. Immortals.
Yeah.
The problem is, do you really need this when you've got like the Hypercrypt nowadays?
Not now. I think before the Hypercrypt Legion, that would have been higher up on the ranking. Because I think there is little things you can do with that.
I mean, you can bring it in the first turn. That's one of the first little quirks it's got. And you can pop back into it at the end of the fight phase. You can pop back in. Twin Tesla Destructors, they look good on paper. I'll let you have a little look. You tell me if you think that's good.
36-inch range, sustained hits 2.
And twin linked.
And twin linked. So hitting on 3, so you get your
You
6.
Yeah.
Strength 8, re-rolling, no AP 2 damage. It's the no AP that kills it.
It looks great.
It's the no AP.
It's the no AP that absolutely kills it. And that's all it is. It's got nothing else more. Toughness 9, 3+ armor. No invuln, no -1 to hit or anything like 9th edition. It's just that. And with the charging out, or we can't charge out of transports and stuff, so that makes Scorpion Destroyers, Lich Guard a little bit less useful.
Yeah.
So
is it a way of just dropping things on the board that you want to hold stuff?
But we've got so many deep strike things. And
you've got Hypercrypt as well.
But even without the Hypercrypt, you've got Death Marks, you've got Hex Marks, the Veil of Darkness in the Awakened Dynasty.
Yeah.
There's other ways of doing
Yeah.
this. Monolith is another one. So unfortunately, this one...
And it doesn't have an invuln, does it?
No.
No.
It's just going to go down.
T9, 12 wounds. Yes. Yeah.
It's,
I think it's below the Obelisk.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's for me, it's down there. Let you take the next one.
1-1-1. I've won one.
You've won one. Which one did you win?
This one, below the Obelisk. Come on, Obelisk.
Team Obelisk.
Doomsday Ark.
200 points.
200
points on that.
200 points. Movement 10. T9. 3-up save and a 4-up invuln, which is nice. 14 wounds.
Good.
Yeah.
FC5 is nice as well.
Yeah, that is pretty. I thought it was less than that. That's
not
pretty
bad.
good. And then obviously it's got its big boy
Doomsday Cannon. Sorry, not Death.
So heavy, so hitting on 2s, D6 +1 blast, strength 18 -4,
But
AP 4 damage.
Read the ability on
In
top.
your movement phase, if this model remains stationary, which you're going to, until the end of the turn, its Doomsday has the devastating wounds.
So Dev wounds as well.
Yeah, that's something else, isn't it?
You've then got
Not even looking at anything else.
You've then got these on top.
Lethal hits.
2 of these.
Fire,
2 of them. So that's 10 shots at rapid fire. So that would be 20 shots within 12 inches.
Yeah.
Only an anti, if you're getting tagged by some god or something.
Lethal hits would be good. Come in handy then, yeah.
You're only going to get 3 or so.
I think it would just come in
It's
handy.
more just getting tagged by little gremlins and things. You just go bang, 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 because you can't fire your big cannon into engagement with blast.
No, you can't.
To defend itself, it's got the Gore Slayer raise. 200 points though. I think that's alright, Don't know about you.
You either roll in a 3 or a 4 for saves. 14 wounds.
Reanimation, obviously.
You need something big to get rid of it.
You
need something big to get rid of it.
Yeah. But this is your home objective. Like, you try not to move it. Obviously, if you have to move it, you move it.
Yeah.
You're going to lose dead wounds and heavy. But you put that on your home objective or in the best firing lane.
Yeah. Which can be difficult depending on the terrain setup.
Yeah, 10th edition is hard work. But you can say that about most guns, really.
Yeah.
What range has it got? 72.
72. You're long enough. I do like it. I think it's very, very potent when he is shooting, and obviously it's stationary.
Before I give you my declaration of where I think it goes, where are you putting that right now?
Second.
I
put it above the Triarch Stalker and below the Monolith.
I've got it top.
You got it above?
I've got it at number 1 at the minute.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
No, next is the Fortification. I've not really used these in this edition that much, to be honest with you. So I'm going to be a little bit hazy with it. But it's they're different now in terms of points. There's 60 points a model.
Yeah.
You don't need to take all 3 anymore. You can just take 1 or 2 or 3, whatever. I'll have to remind myself. The weapon is it's okay. The one
So 3 attacks hitting on 4s. So
Yeah.
1.5.
If you've got them in a unit, they don't have to be set up in unit currency, but you could just have them separate anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can have 3 units of them. The aura 6+4 no pain save aura. Yeah,
That's not terrible.
For infantry, that is.
Oh, infantry only. Yeah, it's not terrible. I don't think that's terrible. I don't think that's terrible.
And the ancient cover is basically the fortification rules. You get the benefits of cover. If you're not fully visible, it's kind of standard stuff.
Okay.
But the reason you would take these, anti-deep strike. 60-point anti-deep strike. You plonk it in your corners, 2 of them. 3 if you're feeling
Brave.
lucky, brave, whatever. Because they're toughness 9 with 7 wounds.
3 up save. Yeah.
And unless you've got some sort of cosmic precision, or you've got the demon one where you can come in 3 inches, that's a big, anti-deep strike unit. The argument against it, you can just part from scarabs in that corner. Yeah, you could just use them. You could use any unit, really. You don't have to use a 60-point model, but
they're tougher.
Toughness 9, 7 wounds. And you're not going to shoot it because it's not really a threat to you.
No.
You're not going to really want to charge it because there's juicier things. In the old edition, Technomancers and Cryptex, I think it was,
Could move them.
They could just throw them around,
Yeah.
which was cool.
But obviously it's changed now.
60 points.
60 points for a tough anti-deep strike.
I mean, you would buy Infiltrators if you're a Marine player, and I know it's a 12-inch anti-deep strike, but you would buy them at 100 points.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They do. People do.
But they've got Infiltrate, so they can do it in the No Man's Land, which is a bit different, I suppose.
Yeah.
Again, you could just get some scarabs. You can get 1 lone Locust Destroyer. I think they're 30 points each.
And try and hide them out of the way.
Just hide 1, and that's 9-inch, restriction.
I know you're saying this, and it's only 60 points for 1, right?
Mm.
But you put it there, and it's your anti-deep strike bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. This is going to be really weird. It's also like you're goading your opponent in a way to say, well, I've got an anti-deep strike bubble. You can see it. Why don't you shoot it?
I wouldn't take the bait, though. I wouldn't.
Some people would. Some people would, because if they go, I need to get in, and that's my only way to get through.
If you've picked fixed missions, like you do quite often,
Yeah.
and you picked deploy teleport homers behind enemy lines or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got these, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
So, you've got ways of getting in, and you're quick. But some armies are like, ooh, how am I going to get in now? I've got to go the long way.
Yeah.
And if I've got 20 warriors there, another 20 warriors in front of them,
I've got
Reanimator.
the perfect thing that these are perfect against, and that's the Tyranids Biovores.
Yeah.
To stop them spawn mines coming in.
I mean, they'll find a gap. They'll
They'll try and find,
One little base.
I know they'll try and find a gap, but
They'll
that
find
has the best opportunity because of how big it is.
But here's my next argument. It's the same argument, but 60 points or the scarabs. And you can spread them out.
Yes.
The scarabs, you can spread them out 2 inches apart. Slightly bigger area.
Yeah.
And you can nearly get 2 units for the same price. So you can spread them out like this. And then the entire half of the board almost in your deployment area is covered. And they can't be seen that well because they're flat.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're
So-
saying. I think there is a case, depending on your matchup.
Mm.
Because some armies are not going to want to come in your deployment zone anyway.
Yeah,
Some
which
just
makes
aren't,
them a
which
bit
made
weird.
them
These
redundant.
obviously aren't moving.
No. They're literally there
That's
for
got a gun though. Just so,
It's not terrible. It's not terrible. For 60 points,
you're going to get 1.5 hits on average. No, you see the 1 or 2 hits as an average. Strength 6 minus 2 and 3 damage. If you kill if you pop a Terminator off, bit luck, but you could do it once a battle.
okay. Is it better than the Night Scythe?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Night Scythe can't do nothing. It can't hold objectives. Its Hypercrypt killed it.
Yeah, the Hypercrypt's done.
It's better than the Night Scythe. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. Is it better than the Obelisk?
Yeah.
Okay, is it better than the Reanimator? They kind of do similar jobs,
I
but
would
this
say the
buff-
Reanimator's better.
Would you? I wouldn't.
Really?
I'd say that's better purely for it's cheaper. it's got a decent gun. It can actually hold its own. If it gets charged by something, it's T9.
Yeah, but this ain't going behind the Nightbringer and giving it D3 extra wounds a go, which is your main big threat.
I know, but
or
then
a Void Dragon or a Monolith.
That's got more of a chance than dying than that has.
Nope, because it's a 4+ feel no pain on it.
Yeah, but lower toughness as well.
4+ feel no pain wipes half of the damage away.
I prefer this. From a defensive standpoint, I prefer this. I think they're very similar.
From a defensive standpoint, they can both do the same thing. From an offensive standpoint, I don't mean killing stuff. I just mean going more afield.
Yeah, that can't.
That can't do it at all.
No.
So you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
You're stuck there.
Mm.
You can follow your Immortals, your Wraiths. Imagine them Wraiths having double blooming reanimation.
Yeah.
They're already bad enough with a Technomancer. They're already getting the D3 on the movement phase. This is also Canoptek.
Yeah, so it gets benefits from
Canoptek. It's not a massive thing.
Yeah,
it's Canoptek.
Probably going to shut me down a bit.
No, I'm okay. On my notes, I've got them next to each other. I've got the Reanimator in front. If you want to put it behind, I'm fine with that.
What are you going to be using that for? And what are you going to be using that for? And which one?
Admittedly, I don't use either at the minute.
Yeah.
But if I did use this,
it'll be following
it would either be at the back with the Doomstalkers.
Yeah.
It would either be with the Catan. I'm already giving you flexible options here. It'll be with the Catan or with the Wraiths. Let me have a look what else. Monolith, the Silent King. In fact, that's a massive one. The Silent King. Go behind the Silent King. You said it earlier, the Locust Heavy Destroyers.
Yeah.
The Exterminator option going forward. They're going to die much quicker if they're going forward. They're spraying everything.
I think that's a good goading target, like I was saying with these.
That's more of a goading target.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's swung me a bit, I think. I do think there is a big discussion to be had about this, though.
Let's move on to this bad boy. You got another big one.
Am I just getting all the...
Let's swap you can have this one.
Go on.
You can have the Annihilation Barge. There you go.
Okay. Annihilation?
I think you like that.
I do like the Annihilation Barge. Yeah, I do. I do like these. Movement 10, so they're quite quick.
Nice.
Toughness 8, again. I think that's quite nice.
It's okay. I mean, before you carry on, 115 points with toughness 8 is nice.
And 9 wounds. 3 up save or 4 up inland.
No, that's great.
I think that's fantastic. 3 OC, I don't think that's terrible either for one model on its own.
It's similar to the Stalker, just slightly slower.
Yep.
This has got more wounds, Stalker, but
yep.
They're similarly priced, aren't they?
10 points cheaper.
10 points difference, yeah.
So, and then you can choose to have the Gorse. Oh, does it have all?
No, it has one of them.
Okay.
One line.
So, the weapons...
Sorry, it has... the bottom one it does have, the Twin Tether Destructor, and the other two are the option.
Okay.
But that's that same thing we spoke about earlier, the 8 with no...
Oh, okay. And then in the shooting phase, each time you select a target with this model's Twin Tesla Destructor, roll 1d6. Oh, so it's like a little mortal
electric shock bomb, yeah.
Okay.
Situational. You got to roll. Is it a 5+ you said?
Yeah.
It's...
that should be a 4+.
The thing I would use this for, I don't use it. It's another one of those I don't use. If I was to use it by force, it would be just to go onto an objective, park, shoot, and that's about it. The problem I've got is the OC.
So mine's similar. I would park this, like you say, on objective, and it's fast enough.
Yeah, that's the good bit.
I would park this on an objective, and I'd probably end up playing fixed, because I'm a fixed guy, and I'd be cleansing with this.
You're cleansing with that?
I'd be cleansing with it. Cleanse.
Yeah. That's the one you're holding the objective and then
you have to cleanse it.
Yeah.
So you can cleanse it and then you do everything else, and then if at the end of the turn you're holding the objective, you've cleansed it.
The OC is just a little bit low for me.
Yeah, that's fine, but you can give it a buddy.
Who's his buddy?
I don't know. You know better than I do.
No, I'm really interested to know who's his buddy.
You could... Another one.
So you're doing what? 230 points for 2 of these?
Yeah, on one objective.
Not for me. Because of the damage output as well.
I'm not even looking at it for damage
output.
I
know you're not.
I'm going for pure resiliency.
Okay, so 230 points. Why not just do Tomb Blades? I know they're not as resilient, but cheaper.
Tomb Blades can't do cleanse they're not eligible to shoot in engagement. He is.
True, good point. So that's
So it's inviting you to come onto the objective.
What else do we have that can do that kind of stuff? Pistols. Not really got
Wraiths, maybe.
Wraiths have pistols. Hexmark, but that's not really for that. I do see your point. That
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do get that from that perspective.
I think maybe two.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
So I'd have two of them, and that's what? Toughness 8, 18 wounds, 4 a pin burn, 6 OC. Now you need to invite something a bit stronger to come and try and kill one of you to stop it. And I think for 2, maybe 3 turns, you're doing it. 2 of them could potentially get you 20 plus points in a game with a couple of turns. Potentially. They'd have to be targeted, but are they going to be targeting that when you've got, say, 90 coming down, Wraiths coming down? They're going to have to try. They'll have your opponent's forces are going to be split. It's not.
Why would you not take the Triarch Stalker then over that for the same role?
They're quicker. Just because they're quicker.
But that Stalker's got an extra 3 wounds and 1 OC more.
Yeah, that'd be the case to do it for that. I mean, that does have Scout actually.
So that quickness is actually taken away because that's an 8-inch Scout.
Yeah.
It's more though. It's 10 points more. 10 points, yeah.
You could still do 2 of them, couldn't you? Do the same thing.
I think that's what people probably do more. Which I even said it earlier. That would just go into the no man's land and just sort of sit.
Yeah. But I feel like I've put a good case for that forward. But obviously the Triarch Stalker
There's something that is just slightly better with a heat ray.
Yeah.
Melter 4.
I mean, this would you'd probably go for this option if you were running low on points when you were building your list.
Yeah, it's something I've not thought about. If I'm 10 points short, get the Triarch Stalker out, put the Annihilation Barge in maybe. There's probably other things you can cut though. Yeah,
it depends what. Like I said, it depends. That's just me. That's not what I'm saying. People at home should be doing or what you should be doing. But that's what I would do with this unit because its gun output
doesn't fight in melee.
No, but again, it's like I said, it's a come at me, bro. For me, come at me.
Where do you put it in your? You're obviously putting it in the same spot as that, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll put it below the Triarch Stalker, but above the Reanimator.
I was going to do you a good deed and put it below the Obelisk.
You don't like it?
No.
Like it. I think there's definitely...
It does what the Triarch Stalker does, right? I agree. But the Triarch Stalker also fights. The Triarch Stalker also scouts. The Triarch Stalker has more wounds. The Triarch Stalker makes other units ignore cover.
Okay.
And that's why this weapon is poo.
Yeah.
The weapon's poo. That ability is not great.
No.
But
it's resilient as hell.
So is that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not putting it above that.
No. But this does everything that can do, but way more for 10 points. So that makes you think, if I got the points, I'd take 3 of those. I'm not saying take 3 of those, but if you had the points, you take 3 of them and you don't touch those. And if you wanted to get more...
Is that smaller?
It's the same as a command barge, it's that.
And the Triarch Stalker's quite...
Where's my Stalker? Yeah, it's a lot larger. So that's going to cover an objective better, the Stalker.
I was more thinking of hiding as well.
And deep strike, anti-deep strikes. The Stalker does everything better, in my opinion.
Okay.
So then it goes down.
Okay.
Is it better than a Reanimator? No.
Okay.
Is it better than the 4?
Yes. Because it's scoring your points. That's not scoring you nothing. That's an anti-deep strike.
60 point. So...
Because you're going to say you take 2 of them, you get 1 of these.
I'll put it in there with you.
Yeah?
I'll go in there with you.
Yeah? We can obviously come back.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, this one's another interesting one. I've just recently done a video on this, the Tesseract Vault.
Is this the Catan powers?
The giant thing.
Yeah.
I glued my Obelisk as an Obelisk. I could have glued it as that.
Should have done that.
No. Because you can't move the thing. Right. It's like this big. It's humongous. Flying is irrelevant. The movement is irrelevant.
Is it towering? Yeah,
it's towering. It's Titanic. It's huge. With the amount of terrain in 10th edition, you just can't move this thing. It's got all the greatest stats and abilities you can think of. Let me go through it and I'll explain. Toughness 12.
Nice.
Good. 2+, 4+.
Yeah.
Best you can get ready. 24 wounds.
Lovely.
Nice. OC 8.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, right? Points wise, I'm just double checking.
400.
I should know this. 400 points. Expensive. Okay, expensive. It's got the unique abilities of Catan powers. So only in your shooting phase. You can't do it as Overwatch or anything like that. You select 2 out of 3 of these powers. They're amazing. I'm not going to lie to you, they're amazing. The first one is a Terminator killer. All of them have dev wounds.
Yeah.
So it's D6 plus 3 with blast in terms of shots. Strength 10, we hit on 3, strength 10, minus 3, 3 damage. Right, that's the first option out of 3. You get 2 of these. The second one is basically a 3d6 torrents and ignores cover, dead wounds, strength 6, minus 2, 1 damage. That's your anti-gaunt, guardians, gargoyles, all that below.
Yeah. Times arrow.
Times arrow, anti-character 4+. So if you wound a character, it's a critical wound. It's got dead wound on top. So it becomes a dead wound.
Right, okay, yeah.
It's got precision. So you
Need a
have,
killer.
So I mean, we just did your video, right?
Need a killer.
Skull Taker.
Dead. Need a killer.
1 shot, but it hits on 2s.
Yeah.
You're going to be wounded on probably 4s if it's you're going to shoot against characters. Otherwise, it's strength 3, 6 damage.
Yeah.
If you get that 4+ roll, or 2+ to hit, 4+ to wound. I said it in the video. You're killing captains,
Buffs.
overlords,
People buffing.
what else? Your Skull Takers,
Yeah.
Technomancers, the Orc War. I don't know if the War boss is 6. Farsights, anything that sort of that level.
Yeah.
Done. 1 turn. Assassination, done.
Yeah.
1 turn. You get to set 2 of those weapons every turn. It's got the Tesseract Spheres, which you know about them from the Obelisk.
Yeah.
It's not got the anti-fly thing though.
No, just sustained hits.
It's just the same hits 2, 24 shots, blah blah blah. That all sounds great, doesn't it? So far,
I feel like there's a but coming.
Well, it's not a massive but. It's massive. You can't move it. These ranges aren't great. 24 inches.
Okay, that's...
You're not going to be hyper-phasing it because you're going to need literally a giant, a 9-inch restriction. You could use the Cosmic Precision, but you still need a fair chunk of space.
You're saying this model's like this?
It literally is like, you probably need 12 by 12 inch. It's huge.
Okay.
It's huge. Basically, it's an obelisk, but it's opened up.
Okay.
So that's the obelisk there, that big one there. Now open it up, but you can see from that photo, that's how opened it is. There's an actual Catan in the centre of it.
Yeah, okay.
It's massive.
But is the bottom still the same, or is it slightly
The
more?
base is still small. It's still a small base. But it's... no, it's opened up. The bottom's opened up.
Right, okay.
That's the main problem with it. Apart from that, it's expensive and storing it's a pain in the ass as well.
Yeah.
Everything else is great. Stats are great. Catan powers are great.
Well, going back to the old home objective thing, the problem is it's expensive as hell. Yeah, and dying, and your objective is never being given up, and because it's towering, Titanic, towering, same thing. If it sees you, there's none of this hiding behind a ruin.
No,
Indirect fire.
I get that, but some armies aren't coming for you like that.
Bonk, 24 inches is over halfway.
It's not
depending on which way you're playing, I suppose.
I don't think it's that usable.
I think that's nuts.
I don't think it's usable. When I first saw all this stuff, I thought it was nuts. But you just can't move it down.
The only thing that puts me off it is how expensive it is.
And that.
But you got to ask yourself, there is a reason why it's so expensive.
Oh no, it can do it. I've done the maths on it. I mean, there was a slight, not an error, but on the maths I did, I was presuming that you killed the leaders. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, okay.
I said within 2 turns it makes its points back, but obviously that's if you get your 2+ and your 4+. You can CP reroll and stuff. Yeah. You can do all sorts. But when you add your Tesseract Spheres and maybe your antimatter meteor and your times arrow together, and you miss out the cosmic fire, it did about approximately 200 points worth. So within 2 goes, 400 points roughly.
Okay.
As an average, I was doing it against Gaunts, I was doing it against Marines, and as an average, that's what I was getting.
I think he's insane.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely insane.
No.
It's just the only deterrent for me is the price. You're worried about the move. I'm not.
Well, the next thing, the counterpunch then, is the price. 400 points, all in one basket. 2,000 point game. That's like a fifth of your list.
I'm used to that though.
Yeah. I know Demons is used to that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm used to doing that, obviously, of a Necron.
When you play Necrons, like I said earlier, you need space for a Catan. You can maybe take the Catan out, because you've got this. You need space for your bodies, whether it's your Wraiths, whether it's Immortals, whether it's Warriors, Scorpec Destroyers, whatever you're taking. You then need some Tomb Blades, Ophidians, Hex Marks, Death Marks, the Scorers. You need some of them. By the time you've done that, where do you get 400 points? Unless you're starting your list build, Tesseract Vault, first thing in.
You're getting so much units for your points.
Mm-hmm.
It's mental.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely mental. Whereas I'm used to fielding 6 models.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's the meta for Demons. And then you've got other stuff
that goes to your
custodians.
detachment rule, and you can jump in and out and all sorts.
Yeah, I get that.
Something else to note though, which I said in the video, 1,000 points, what's going to take that out? I mean, Knights and stuff, maybe, but if you're coming up against Tyranids or anything, Marines, whatever, and you bring this 400 points out of your 1,000.
Knights is probably your only
counter.
But even then, they'll only have maybe one.
But I'll bring 2 of them. And a Royal Warden at the back hiding. What's that? And I don't even know what else you get. What's that? 800 points? You've got 200 points spare. You could probably get a little unit of something.
Little unit raised in the Techno.
Yeah, done. I mean, that might be a bit... I think that's over. That's a bit over. But you could find a unit within 200 and a leader. But what the hell is killing? I mean, you ain't getting objectives though. It's just for killing. You're not scoring anything. Where'd you put that though? Because this is a hard one for me. On the video, the whole way through, I was like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And in the end, I said no.
Really?
I said no.
I think
it's just not usable. It doesn't move.
But I mean, if it wasn't usable, it wouldn't be so expensive.
We've still got loads to go, yeah. Up there.
Yeah, I'm putting it high. I just think it's towering, Titanic. You can't. It's indirect fire, so you can't even hide from it. So if you want to try and get on a mid-board objective, go for it. Because I'm just going to shoot.
This is going to be hard because I had it sort of around here.
It's
better than an Obelisk.
I think it's better than the. I'm putting it third.
Third. No, I'm not going that far. I would go with better than that. The fort. The Annihilation Barge is only there because you wanted it there, to be honest. I weren't that fussed about it.
That's better than a barge. It's got to be better than a Reanimator. The output that can do is insane.
No, it is. You know what? I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Put it fourth. Is it better than a Stalker?
I think so, but I'm not going to convince you otherwise.
The Stalker.
The only thing that's letting it down is the points, and you're saying the possibly moving it is going to be proved difficult.
It is insanely difficult.
But in 1K, Hypercrypt, there'd be space, right?
Fair argument. In
1K, obviously.
That's 1K though.
But in 2K as well, I think at some point, your opponent, turn 3, there'll be less on the board and more chance for you to get in or move it to the middle. Because you don't need that to go all the way up the board. You only need it to go from... Let's say you're playing this way on this table.
I think it is good, but I'm just sort of very on the fence about the 2 things you mentioned. So I'm happy with it there. There's still more to go, so it will get pushed down a bit.
Okay.
All right. You'll go? The Silent King.
The Silent King. Oh no, this is your daddy, mate.
All right. I'll give you
it's your version of Daddy Bellicor. Yeah, you do it. This is your...
Right, the Silent King.
He
moves 8, toughness 10, 2+4+. We like that stuff. 16 wounds, but there's 2 Minears at 5 each, so it's 26 wounds combined. OC combines to 8 with the 2 Minears.
Yeah, that's nice.
The Minears have got the good Annihilator Beams, which is 6
some...
damage, but they can die, but they can be reanimated, so it's strange. There's loads of attacks that hit on 2s. There's loads, range, melee, strength 14, strength 10, strength 6.
How much is he?
What is he now? It's 420. 420.
Okay.
There's more to him. Some abilities that are on the opposite side of the card because there's that much to do.
How much he's got?
So he selects one of those abilities. It's either rerolls or hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1 for units within 6 aura.
Okay.
Nice, isn't it? That's nice. When you put
put
everything together. You've got another aura which is rerolling your charge rolls.
Okay.
And it's also a +1 to strength as well. That's an aura again.
Because that's 6 inches, yeah?
Yeah, and the last 6-inch aura is you just ignore modifiers, which sometimes that is a bit of a key one, but situational.
Yeah, okay.
I like the top one. Rerolls hits and wounds of 1s. Not as great with Immortals because they do the wound rolls anyway.
Don't they? Yeah. Okay.
And not with the Canoptek Court, they re-roll their hit rolls of 1 as well, so it's not great there. Now, a few negatives. He's great in the Obeisance Phalanx, but he doesn't have the right keywords. He's not an Overlord. It's his detachment, but he ain't got any of the keywords, so he doesn't technically get the buff, the +1 to wound, which is weird. But he's buffing other units to re-roll their stuff.
Yeah, we've got something similar with us.
Yeah?
With Be'lakor. Be'lakor ain't got the keywords.
It's weird.
So, yeah, I do find that a bit odd.
The other weird thing is... it's the keywords. It's back to the keywords. They've all got the character keyword, and there's 3 models in this unit.
So if you kill a Menhir, is that assassination?
It is. Unfortunately.
Only 1 card. If you're playing tactical.
Yeah.
If it's fixed, obviously if I kill 2, there's 10 points. And then you're going to reanimate them. And
then you're going to keep doing it. Yeah, that's a problem.
So if you ever go against a Silent King, yeah, if you've got a chance of killing them Menhirs,
yeah. And obviously when the Menhirs go down, we lose the big weapon.
Yeah,
which is another problem. He's got other ability, which is the Silent King. Improve leadership by 1 for units within 6. So everything within 6 is kind of getting...
That could be important for a few battle shocks on objectives, maybe.
Yeah.
I get it. A bit expensive, isn't he?
He is, which is why I don't really use him much. He shoots great, he fights great, he buffs great. I think you've got to make a list purely around him.
Yeah.
And you've got to have one of those sort of...
Castle.
Like a spearhead kind of list where you've got Illuminazares or something and a Reanimator maybe in the middle, warriors all around. Everything's getting buffed by everything. That's the kind of list
in the aura
that he's good with. Again, the Obeisance Phalanx, they've got the stratagem for the -1 to damage. Nano Scarab Assembly, I think it's called. Yeah.
What would you... If you were working at GW, what would his points cost be?
Oh, that's tricky. You put me on the spot there.
Yeah, I have. Do you want me to tell you what I think? I still think he should be expensive.
I'll say what I've got, but I want to hear yours first, just in case I'm
375.
Okay, I was less. But I might be wrong, because I'm struggling. 375, that's not much difference.
Still, what's that, 45 points?
See, I don't use him a lot, so maybe I'm missing things, but I would have gone sort of 325.
Nah, not a chance. Nah. That's equivalent to a Bloodthirster.
And the Bloodthirster hits like a truck. You don't.
He shoots like a truck and he buffs. Bear in mind, here's another thing.
Yeah,
I know I'm using a demon comparison. Be'lakor costs more. He doesn't hit as hard as a Bloodthirster. Because he buffs.
But he can do his own shadow.
Because of what he does. Yeah, no, but
that's a hard comparison, that is.
Yeah, I'm just saying he costs more because he's more...
The guy flies and moves deep strikes and all sorts.
But there's a reason why he's 420. I mean, he's...
Maybe 325 is a bit too low. We can meet in the middle, 350.
I was originally going to say 350, and I thought, nah, because of the output, I thought maybe 375. 8 OC.
You just lose them.
They're coming back.
They are coming back, but you've got to roll for them to come back. Your Bloodthirster, hits like a truck. You say he shoots like a truck, but these things go down.
Yeah.
So it's... I don't know. Either way, he's not 350. He's not 375.
No, he's 420.
He's 420.
I think he should come down. I do think he's
more
expensive.
than the Vault.
Yeah.
And we've got to place him in here somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't use him enough.
That's mad that he's more expensive than the Vault.
He's the most expensive we've got.
Unit you've got.
Apart from the Forge stuff, which we're not covering.
Yeah.
These are just the data cards.
Where do you put him then?
Oddly, I've said all the negative stuff about him, but I had him quite high on my notes. I had him...
For what he does...
I had him above...
Yeah, I agree though.
You agree?
Yeah.
I just don't have space for him. That's the only problem I've got. I just don't have space. So therefore, should he be brought down? I keep saying this, but once you've got your Catan and your Wraiths and your Immortals, you don't have 400 and whatever he is.
Well, he's better than them two.
He goes straight up to here. Is he better than the Vault for you, yeah? That's an interesting one, because you loved the Vault a minute ago.
For me, Vault's number 1. He's at the top. So, but I'm not winning that fight.
So you got to put him below the Vault then, right?
I would put him below the Vault.
Below the Stalker?
That's where I don't like where this is going. But
you think the list is screwed because of that part, don't you?
Yeah. I think the Vault should be... I think it should be Vault.
Just go like that.
Silent King.
But the Silent King...
Stalker.
Goes above the Stalker.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I think.
So he's below the Vault. No, he's above the Vault.
Okay, put him above the Vault.
He's above the Vault.
That's fine.
He's above the Vault.
For me, I think he's below the Vault. But that's just me. And
Quite a few big things.
And remember, I'm not a Necron player.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting my foot down. He's got to be above the Vault. He's got to be. But
okay.
I don't use either that much.
Yeah. Okay.
So
no, that's fair.
Maybe I've not got enough either. You can have the Doom Scythe. Sorry, I didn't say launch that.
Doom Scythe.
Go on then.
It's a
aircraft. Yeah.
What's he got? He got Heavy Death Ray, sustain hits D3, so 2. Do you only have one of them? Yeah, 1 Heavy Death Ray. 3 attacks in on 3s. Strength 16, -4, D6 plus 1 damage. That's not bad. It should be a bit more attacks. Okay.
It's a nice little range weapon. It's got 36 inches.
I've just seen it save. I'd rather have it 2-up save. 3-up save lets it down. T9.
It's never going to have a 2-up save.
3-up save, T9, 12 wounds, no OC.
It gets line of sight on stuff. Because it moves, rapido, bang.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. The bad thing is the OC.
The ability. Each time this model targets an enemy unit with its Heavy Death Ray, your opponent must declare if that unit wants to stand firm or duck for cover. That sounds fun. If it stands firm when resolving ranged attacks, and a successful unmodified hit roll of a 5 scores a critical hit. So
for your Heavy Death Rays.
Yeah, so
which is sustain hits.
D3 on 5s. Okay.
It's not bad.
And then if it ducks for cover until the start of your next shooting phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 to 2, forcing them -1 to hit, or on.
They're just gonna duck for cover though, aren't they? You just take the -1 to hit. Why would you take the 5+ criticals?
Because it's only 3 attacks.
Yeah, but 5+ criticals, one of them will on average be a 5+.
Yeah, and then you roll your D3, which will be a 2.
It's an average of that as a 2. That's going to be 2 extra shots, so that's a minimum of 3. You're probably going to get another hit as well. That's 4. So now you've got 4 hits all of a sudden. Hits, and it's strength 16. So you're going to be wounded on 2s. All of a sudden,
depends what.
If there's no save, if I'm shooting at like a vehicle with no inland.
Oh, they'll take the duck for cover.
Then it's D6 plus 1.
I think there will be a case where somebody will go, yeah, I'll take the...
It's dangerous.
Stands firm.
Against, like, Astra Militarum that want to shoot. They don't want a -1 to hit.
No. They might risk it because it's only 3 attacks. Because you could whiff.
Yeah. And they might have... I don't know what their rim runs are like, to be honest.
But then you might end up with a -1 to hit as well. I know we're going way too deep now, but you could end up with a -1 to hit.
We're kind of going a bit too far. The point is, this thing is a flyer. It's got no OC. It can't hold objectives. You can just take Locust Heavy Destroyers. You can take Canoptek Doomstalkers.
How much is he? Because the Not Scythe's one.
Doom Scythe is 230. It's more than a Doomsday Ark. Exactly. It's poo. It's poo. It's not super poo.
Just above the Night Scythe, below the Obelisk. Don't know if you're happy with that.
I'm
not keen on it. I'm not keen. It's 230 points.
You're getting a firing lane, whereas Locust Heavy Destroyers sometimes don't. Sometimes they've got to move. I know that still puts them on a 3+.
Can that hover?
No, we don't have any hover options. That's another thing. But we should have a hover option.
So you have to move minimum 20 inches.
I think what they should have done in this codex is join them 2 data sheets together. That should have just been a Necron flyer with a Doom's Scythe that can... what's it called? The Heavy Death Ray that can transport stuff.
For 230 points.
Well, the points can change, but it should have been a combo of the two.
Yeah.
Why can't this just carry whatever piece of technology that the Night Scythe has? It's like a little circle on the bottom of the...
Should be one
Why
thing.
can't it just go on there?
Yeah.
But I thought that was one of my predictions that I got wrong. I thought they'd combine that. But they haven't.
Okay,
And it
so
sucks. I had it above the Obelisk though.
you can move it
But-
over this if you want to.
I honestly don't mind this one.
Really?
I do have a soft spot for the Obelisk anyway. Even though you're fighting its corner today.
I
but
do. I think there's a place for the Obelisk somewhere. But
against you, I mean, the thing is with the Obelisk, I know we're going back a bit here, but we were talking about going against Bloodthirsters. With
that was just an example.
Not many factions are fly dependent.
No.
Like you go Marines, apart from their like flying, what do you call them?
Vanguard vets, they fly.
Yeah, but who's picking them?
Jump packs.
You've got Chaos Demon, Chaos Space Marines aren't really flying, I don't think. Orcs, there's a few little flying things, but everything's mainly on battle wagons. I'm forgetting who else. We've got Tyranids, there's a few flying things, but
Yeah, no, you're right. It's
Not-
the Obelisk is situational.
it becomes a bit more of a situation. If I'm going up against 3 Bloodthirsters, happy days. It's great.
Are we saying because it's situational?
The heavy death ray works in any situation.
Yeah.
It just unfortunately doesn't have that OC8.
Yeah.
But the Obelisk is 325 points. So it's nearly 100 points more.
To me, that's like.
But that
I could
100
squeeze
points
it in.
more, I can get 5 Immortals for 70 points. And that's OC10.
Yeah.
That's the argument.
Yeah.
So the OC kind of doesn't matter when you're paying 100 points more.
Okay.
So we'll
yeah.
continue. I like this one. The Canoptek Doomstalkers.
Oh,
They're
yes.
the sort of
yes,
light
yes.
walker vehicles.
Yes.
I'm going to say 3 plus armor, 4 plus invulnerable, 12 wounds.
Seems to be a similar theme going with your.
Yeah,
Thing
135 points. Used to be more of a monster and vehicle killer. In my head, it's sort of been
Elite killer.
relegated to elite killing, mounted
But there's
Terminators.
a lot of that at the minute. A lot of
Yeah.
elite and mounted.
But because it's so cheap in comparison, it's like a Doomsday Ark's 200. This is 135. That's a lot of shots. It's a lot of rerolls in the Canoptek Court. There's a lot of damage.
It's a lot
Inrun
more
save.
OC. More
That's
OC.
going to be
in total.
36 wounds in total if you've got 3.
4 up invuln, 3 up save.
You whack a
Ooh.
Reanimator in there or a Technomancer in there.
Yeah.
Reanimation
That's
protocols,
Very,
obviously.
very, very potent.
Also, they got 5 plus Overwatch, which is what I like.
That's nice. Only one can do that though.
Only one can do that.
Mm.
It's D6 plus 1 attacks with Blast. Oh, and it's heavy as well, so that 4 plus becomes a 3 plus and reroll in Canoptek Core.
Yes, that's a bit.
they're
That's
good.
a bit filth. That's filthy.
For me,
That's one that I really like actually.
it's near the top. It's just where. I would like your opinion, sir. How far up does it go?
For not like in boxing, pound for pound, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
For points for output
Where you going?
above the monolith.
So not first.
Not first. Oh, I don't know though. You just use the Doomsday Ark as an actual.
Yeah, you can get 3 of them for 2 of them.
I know that's
The Doomsday Ark is strength 18, and it's 4 damage a go. It's got better range.
Dev wounds.
They hit better, but the Doomsday Ark doesn't apply with the Canoptek Core.
This. Yeah. So you can risk moving this because of the Canoptek Core.
And like I said, you can have 3 of them.
Yeah, I think how cheap they are as well, and they're quite resilient.
I'm
you happy with
I'm
being
happy
top?
with that. I was switching them around in my notes, and I'm happy
So
with
they're-
the way.
So Doomstalker is at the top at number 1.
Number
I
1.
suppose. Wow.
Have you know the Canoptek unit?
Canoptek Spyders. I don't know why I did that.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Toughness 7. They're slow though. Moving 5. 3 up save. No invuln. No.
No, they used
6
to.
wounds. 2 OC. You can have 2 in a unit. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they used to not be vehicles.
Oh, they
But now
spawn.
they're vehicles. But yeah, they're the Scarab spawners.
Yeah. Okay.
They get 2 particle beamers.
18-inch range. 2d6 attack.
Each one has blast, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. 3s. No AP. Okay. It's a shame that's not pistol. And then they've got claws. Oh.
Claws are good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 5 attacks hitting on 4s, but Canoptek Court again, re-rolling a lot maybe.
That could clear a small squad of intercessors or whatever. Then Warrior Good, but can you have both of these?
You could have both of them and they're free.
So fabricate a claw array while a friendly Necron's vehicle is within 6 inches of the bearer.
Which it is.
Models in that have a 6-up feel no pain.
So it gives itself
a 6-up feel no pain.
It could follow a Silent King around.
And then while a friendly Necron's unit is within 6 inches of the bearer, models in that unit have the feel no pain fight against mortal wounds and psychic attacks.
Yeah, that one's situational. But the other one, it can follow the Silent King around, it can follow your Monolith around.
Yeah, so basically it's a 6-up feel no pain, but if it's mortal wounds or a psychic attack, it goes to a 5, right?
And the second ability there, the Gloom Prism, works on any unit, not just vehicles.
That's kind of cool.
And then it's throwing out scarabs, which are going to explode.
Yeah, explode the scarab.
So you've got a nice little screen.
Yeah.
If you choose to fight, you go and charge. If you don't want to fight, you screen off.
How much is a spider?
A spider is 70. No, sorry, that's not it. I'm looking at 75 each. So 150 for the 2.
Okay.
I'll put my 2 cents in. I've called them a luxury unit. They've always been a luxury.
What do you mean by that?
Well, before the Codex, so in the Index, they were a luxury because, well, there's no leaders. They're not immortal level. They're not Wraiths or Lich Guard back then. Oh, I've got some points spare. But then you would just pick Death Marks or something. You would never pick them. There's nothing wrong with them. This edition, or this Codex, we've got the Canoptek Core. But the same problem is still there because now you've got Wraiths that are just good.
Yeah, they're...
At the moment, they're just too good. So you just go 3 units of Wraiths with a Technomancer in each unit.
Yeah.
3 units of Doomstalkers.
Yeah.
You can go with Scarabs. You don't need a Spider to go with Scarabs.
No.
By the time, again, you've got your Nightbringer or your Void Dragon, your Monolith maybe, if you're playing, well, you'll be playing the Canoptek Court, so not the Monolith. By the time you've got all your stuff in, where are you going to fit this 150 points in? There's no invulnerable save.
No, that's the thing that lets it down.
T7 wound 6 is okay. The last time I used these, you just shot the unit dead.
Yeah.
You were worried about them, to be fair. Just a luxury. They're just a luxury. That doesn't mean to say they're bad.
No. I don't think they're bad. No, not by a long stretch.
If you've got a certain plan, a Canoptek plan, you've got your Canoptek units, not these. If you're going with a different, like the Awakened Dynasty, there's no leader here. If you're going with the Destroyer Cult, Annihilation Legion, that's not them. They're not Destroyers. Obeisance Phalanx, they've not got those keywords. And the other one, the Hypercrypt Legion, they've not got Deep Strike, naturally. So they're going to come in off the table edge. There's just other units that can do stuff.
Yeah.
So...
That acts like it's not a vehicle.
It didn't used to be a vehicle, they changed it.
Do you know what I mean?
It used to
be...
It
seems... everything...
Was it a beast? Was it a beast?
Beast or a monster?
I think it was a monster. And so were these, Doomstalkers.
Yeah, see, it seems weird. These all seem like vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't.
No, I agree, it doesn't. I don't think it should. Monster, I just say it's a monster, to be honest. I mean, there's bigger infantry units.
Yeah, it just seems out of place, doesn't it? But anyhow, where do you rank it? I don't know where to put this.
In my notes, I had it high, but the more I think about it, the more lower I go. I like it, but I'm sort of thinking the middle area, right? Triarch Stalker. I use Triarch Stalkers more, and I'm not even saying the Triarch Stalkers are good, but I use them more.
Okay.
Reanimators I don't use, but there is an argument for them. But maybe that's where it should be, around here. So I'm thinking above the Reanimator.
Above the Reanimator? Yeah. Okay. And it's definitely not better than the Stalker. 100% not.
So are you agreeing with me?
I'm looking at the badge.
Which I don't even think should be there, but...
Yeah, but I'm comparing it to the badge.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in that Silent King detachment, the Obeisance Phalanx, that, I should give it a bit more credit for that. That was the castling up kind of detachment. If you've got the Silent King, that behind the Silent King, so he's got -1 damage strat, he's got a Feel No Pain for vehicles ability, Reanimator ability.
Yeah.
And there's a lot buffing each other. The rerolls of 1s to hit and wound, you can go on to that. It does work with that, maybe that detachment. So I would give it a bit more credit for that.
Yeah, I was just kind of going from...
But that's a Triarch unit. So that's going to get the +1 to wounding, that attachment.
Yeah, it's definitely not
So
above.
it can't be there.
It can't be above the Triarch.
I'm thinking it goes in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on to the last one then. And then we'll have a little... Oh no, there's 2 more, sorry. There's 2 more. Which one would you like?
We'll go with the Ghost Ark.
You go with that one then.
So it's a transport, 1 Necron's infantry, capacity of 10 warriors and 1 infantry character model. That's poo, because you want them in 20.
Yeah.
Already it's a big...
I used to love these.
Yeah, T9's nice again, 14 wounds, 3 up save, 4 up invuln, again nice. 3 OC, standard, okay, that's fine. Quick at 10, cool. 2 Gorse players, 24 inches.
Same as the Doomsday Ark, the side gun.
Okay, yeah. And then Armoured Bulk again, which is the same.
Rubbish.
Then it's Repair Barge ability. Once per turn, just after an enemy unit finishes making its attacks, if 1 or more friendly Necron Warriors units within 3 inches of this model lost 1 or more wounds. As a result of those attacks, this model can then use this ability. If it does, you select that Necron's model. It's just reanimation.
It's basically a repair.
Yeah. Per turn. Yeah, so you're going to trigger reanimation.
There's a few issues with this. You've got 10 warriors in there, and ideally you want to put this with 20. You can't. You can run it alongside the 20, but you've got to fill the Ghost Ark, because that's how transports work. Fill them. You could maybe just put 1 infantry unit in there. 1 character unit.
1 character.
That's still going to make, it's already 125 points. You could put a Royal Warden in there for 40, stick him in there all game.
Do you know what would be funny? That you just said that? In like a 1K game, Royal Warden's your only character.
Yeah.
And he's just in the Ghost Ark.
Just riding around. But then you can buff a 20 blob unit that's got an Overlord with a Resurrection Orb and a Reanimator behind it. It used to have really good synergy. Warriors lost their synergy with the Codex because of their ability getting, crap, and the Reanimator's ability going down to 3 inches.
Well, yeah, because before in the Index it was Silver Tide, wasn't it? It was all Silver Tide.
Yeah,
so they've now.
I mean, you still put the Reanimator in the unit, and it still does its job, but
I think they've nerfed you too much.
They nerfed the Warriors.
That should be capacity of 20 Necron Warriors and 1 infantry unit. I don't understand.
Well, physically, there's physically 10 in there and a Rider.
So, just because that's how the model works.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
It makes no sense. This is a warrior buffing unit. Well,
it could be OP though. It would turn into like Dark Elder, whatever they're called, Drakari.
That's right. It's a new way to play Necrons. But yeah, I just found that odd.
I think that I don't know lore that well, right? But I think these are meant to be more we need to recover. We need to fix the warriors up rather than let's go and attack with them like battle wagons and Drakari.
Oh, so they're here to heal the army.
Heal the wounded.
Heal the wounded, and then they've got a bit of cover kind of thing coming out doorwise. So you've got the 10 riders that come out that are covering while the Ghost Ark heals.
Yeah, but in theory it heals the 10 that are getting shot. But it doesn't really work, this edition. I've tried so many ways to find a way for it to work. It just doesn't. 9th edition, I loved it. I was popping Technomancers in and out, doing all sorts of jazz. And
could have had six of them in the list, wouldn't it?
They were battering rams in 9th edition.
Not now.
Now, I mean, could they be used as a battering ram? No. Triarch Stalker can do it for...
How much is a Ghost Ark?
Ghost Ark's 125. Stalker's 125.
Same.
Exact same, so yeah, not cheaper, but that thing has got a heat ray. It can fight. Bad, but fight. OC 4, OC 3. This has 14 wounds though and is quicker.
I'm wondering, could you do...
You're now thinking about the Annihilation Barge. There's that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I knew this was coming. That's why I've left it.
Could you not do the same thing that I was mentioning here with the cleanse, but you have your bodies inside? So when you do get overwhelmed, they can come out.
You can. We just don't think Necron players do that.
No.
I just don't think it's valuable. You've got other units that are much cheaper that can do a cleanse. Wraiths. I do see your point, and your argument is, in fact, going back to that Spyder, and you said, oh, it's a shame they ain't got pistols. Why?
So they could do stuff like that.
It's a vehicle.
I'm just thinking, like you say, now this with the Annihilation Barge, that's got me thinking, wow, I could have 2 of these, go up to an objective, do what I need to do on that objective, while my other stuff
With
does
10
this.
worries inside both.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. 125 plus 100 each. It's 225 each.
What's that?
450 for the pair.
450 for the pair. I'd be happy with that. Because you can then, because what you could do is...
Is Ghost Ark spam coming?
No, but hear me out, right? You put 2 on the one objective on the wing, on the flank.
2 on one objective.
2 on one. And then how the battle goes, you then move that one to the middle. Depending on how the battle goes, and get it over there. You move one over. Potentially. I think it's better than an Ice Scythe.
Yeah, it is. But is it better than the Obelisk? Oh, that's put you in the corner, hasn't it?
I love the old Obby. I do like the Obelisk.
They're my 2 gems.
There's a case for this.
And I'd say it's more than...
Yeah.
I'd say it could be there.
Yes, I agree.
Under or over the
No, I agree. Over the coverage
over
of
the fort.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll go with that. Anything sort of below this point, to be honest, I don't care enough. Because they just suck. But there are ways of playing these, very situational ways that will take a lot of time to work out.
Mm-hmm. I think
but they're not the meta.
No, of course
we can agree with that.
Yeah, of course they're not the meta.
None of this is the meta at the bottom. Let's move on to the last one. It's another one that I used to love. I used to love this in
CCB.
Very start of 9th edition. I used to love this. Command Barge. Moves 10.
Yeah.
This may be your replacement, by the way, because this is... Where's the points for this? It's 150. So it is a bit more than what we've just spoke about. But it's movement 10, toughness 8, 3 plus 4 plus, wounds 9. So some of those stats are a bit worse than what we've mentioned so far. It's a character. Enhancements, things like that. Veil of Darkness, maybe.
Yeah.
You add OC, object control, to models within 6. That could
to
include,
himself as well.
That could include Scarabs that are OC 0.
Yep.
Quantum shielding, advanced quantum shielding. So basically, it's a -1 to the wound roll if your strength is better than its toughness of 8.
Okay, so it'll go to a 4.
It's 4 unless you've got like strength 16.
Yeah.
So that's good in itself for survivability. The weapons kind of stink. Not gonna lie, they're all a bit stinky. The Overlord's Blade's okay. It's a bit like a War Scythe.
Yeah.
But it's got their wounds, but you hit them on 2s. It's got a Resurrection Orb that works on any unit within 6 inches once per battle, infantry or mounted. And you don't get D3, it's D6.
Okay.
Which, the Overlords carry them as well.
Yeah.
That could be great. I mean, you do that on some Immortals, on average you're bringing 3, 4 back. That's alright.
Yeah.
A couple of Lich Guard maybe. So, like I said, destroyers are mounted. So, on average, you can bring a whole one of them back fully.
Yeah.
Average-ish.
Is that once per game?
That's only once per game, any Resorb.
Okay.
But you could use him like you were talking about with the Annihilation Barge. It's slightly more, but you've got these extra abilities, Resorbs, OC, Advanced Quantum Shielding, enhancement options, Veil of Darkness, like I said. What else we got?
A way to get in and get out if needed.
It's not an Overlord, even though it's an Overlord. It's not.
Well, it seems like it's an Overlord in a chair,
but they
don't have the keyword.
They ain't got the keyword for the Obeisance Balance, unfortunately.
Okay.
He's obviously not Canoptek. He's obviously not a destroyer. So he kind of doesn't really work in any detachment. He's not a leader. No Awakened Dynasty, no Protocols. He doesn't really work. He's another luxury element.
Yeah, another.
Doesn't really have a place to fit. There is the Feel No Pain enhancement in the Awakened Dynasty, though. Remember we used to put it on the Transcendent Catan, the 4+. Put it on him. So he's a beast, because you put that on him, -1 to the wound roll as well on the high strength stuff. Feel No Pain save, in-run save. That's probably better than the Barge, in the way you're playing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it that way, but you could.
Yeah. I agree.
To be honest, I don't know how to use it this edition. I've not really had any success with it.
Because you're all about synergy, right? You're all about synergy. Like you said, he doesn't synergize.
He doesn't go. I mean, he's got the OC thing.
That's kind of cool.
It
Do
is.
like that. But it's expensive for it.
150 points. You can get 2 units of Immortals for that, and still have change. There's 70 points each for 5-man units. So a full unit of 10 you can get and still get change. 10 points left.
Yeah, but they're easier to kill, aren't they? Yeah, okay. 4 OC against 20 OC, and then a turn of shooting goes by. That 20 OC soon dwindles down.
It does. Reanimation protocols, all that stuff.
Yeah, you could end up clearing the unit, a bit like pink horror, isn't it? Could end up getting the unit
Toughness
cleared.
5, they're a bit better than that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it could be a bit more.
In terms of where he goes on this ranking system we've got,
Around
it's
here.
another luxury, and these seem to be the luxury picks at the minute. I'm just looking at my notes because it's better than these.
100%.
The question is these 4 here, I think. It's not better than the Triarch Stalker, is it?
No.
No. And I don't even think it's
That
better than-
upwards, I think, is
I think
the top
even
tier.
that. I think even that upwards it can't beat. Yeah, it can't beat.
I think it's better than the Annihilation Barge.
Yeah. So I actually agree with that. I'm going to stick that there. We're good with that?
Yeah.
I'm actually happy.
I'm leaving.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
You happy?
I feel quite happy with that. I'm glad I've fought for the Annihilation Barge.
Yeah, you've got your way.
Yeah, I do. I think there is a case there. Same with
Yeah.
Command Barge. There's cases there for them to be used. Just trying to
Cool.
find it, isn't it?
Well, that is our Necron vehicles all ranked up. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Also, if there's another kind of ranking list you want us to do, let us know in the comments down below. Guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Catch you later.